pulpit, but it's my first time on this
This
particular
particular
show.
show.
I'm so grateful to be talking to my peeps in the mother city, the number one tourist destination
Come
spot
on
in the
now.
world. Go Cape Town, go Cape Town.
Yebo, yebo. Thank you so much for all those props, Dr. Pearl Kupe. You are the president of a Global Forum of Women Entrepreneurs, also known as the GFWE. And this Saturday, 1st of March, something great is happening. There is the launch of the Cape Town chapter. So, Dr. Pearl, take us a little bit back as to what is the Global Forum of Women Entrepreneurs?
Sure, it'll be my pleasure to share a little bit about the Global Forum for Women Entrepreneurs. The title, I'm not big on titles, but there's international president, which is the office I am privileged to carry. The reason why I say that is because Global Forum for Women Entrepreneurs is actually in about 8 nations. And each nation has its own president. So we always like to distinguish and give honor to the presidents in their own nation. We have, for instance, Global Forum for Women Entrepreneurs, Malawi, President Nazreen, who's there. We have Botswana, which is being run by President Obolukile Sekha, and it goes on like that. South Africa, of course, by President Shoni Monyai. So my role is really an international role, just trying to launch chapters throughout as God leads us. But let me just, you
Amen.
nicely asked me tell you a little bit about our story.
Yes.
We're about 8 years old now. And many years ago, Tutu, I had been preaching for more than 10 years. And there's a scripture that God gave me.
Mm.
Now, many of us know from Genesis 12:36, a lot of preachers preach on the wealth transfer. I'm sure you've heard about that. Yeah.
Mm, mm,
And
mm,
it's
mm.
about the wealth transfer where people talk about money moving. And when the Israelites left and there was an exodus out of Egypt,
Yes.
they didn't leave empty-handed, but God told them to go to their neighbor's house. And Exodus 12:36 is a great example of their, well, demonstration, let me say, of their leaving. But I started preaching about 15, 20 years ago from Exodus 3,
Mm.
verses 20 to 22. Now, before the Israelites actually left Egypt with that wealth from their neighbors, God actually spoke to Moses in Exodus 3,
Mm.
verses 20 to 22. And in his speaking to Moses, this he was telling him what was to come.
Mm.
He was talking about the wealth transfer. And what is very interesting is that in verse, especially if you read from 21 to 22, he says to Moses, "This is what's going to happen, dude." And then he says, "Tell every woman." From verses 21 to 22, he says to Moses, "Tell every woman to do what? One, to go to her neighbor's house.
Mm.
Two, he says to go and collect the silver and the gold
Mm.
and the clothing. And then three, he says to give to her children's children, her sons, and all of
Sure.
that." So
Mm.
basically, God is the mandate to collect the wealth
Come
was given
on.
to women
Woman.
in Exodus 3.
Mm.
And for many, many years, I was preaching that until God said, "So what you going to do about it?" And I
Mm.
said, "What do you mean, God?" He said, "No, start gathering the women. Start
Mm.
gathering the women and do what? Teach them what is in Genesis 3:21, 20 to 22, which is teach them how to gather together." So Global Forum for Women Entrepreneurs is about mobilizing women,
Mm.
bringing them together. It's about teaching them about silver and gold. Africa, especially is loaded with
Wow.
resources.
Mm.
It's a tragedy that we are described as a poor continent when in fact
Mm.
we are the richest continent in the world. You
Mm.
know, we have all the gold, we have the silver, we have the platinum in not small amounts, but huge amounts. And that's why
Mm.
we were colonized by so many nations because
Yes.
of our resources. So it's about teaching women about our resources, skilling them,
Mm.
empowering them to get the silver and gold. And the scripture talks about giving to your children and your children's children. So this is generational wealth. It's not just small nyana kancane wealth, you know, 24-hour
Generation.
wealth. And, right, you go and buy a handbag and it's gone. No, this is about a legacy of wealth that we can pass on to our children, properties, businesses, and
Mm.
things like that. So we've been around for about 8 years, and like I said, we are in many, many different nations right now by God's grace, and provincially. So we are very strategic. We have a structure. We have an international structure, international advisory board to whom we submit to and are counseled by a continental advisory board, and then even nationally, they we function under advisory boards, and so this is the launch provincially. We have provincial heads. We've launched in Gauteng. Gauteng has a provincial head. We have Pastor Fikile Mthembu, who's the head of Gauteng. Eastern Cape is there. We have Lungile. Ulungi is heading up Eastern Cape. We have, of course, we have, and Western Cape is now our latest. We have launched in Bloemfontein and Free State as well. And we've launched in Northern Cape in Kimberley. Pastor Poholo is our provincial head in Northern Cape. And so it goes on like that. KwaZulu-Natal will be doing next year as well. But now, ke nako
It's
kapa, Cape
time for Cape Town. What
That's
can the attendees, the people that will be attending, expect, Dr. Pearl, at the Cape Town launch?
Well, what they can expect is a little bit of a history presentation around who we are, what do we do. They can expect to meet our leaders. We have our leaders for Cape Town, so you'll meet Minister Carla Bokombe, and you'll meet Minister Tando Khomotso Mtembu, who are our Cape Town leaders there. So you can expect to meet them, and you can expect to be, to gather, to mobilize. And of course, part of what we do is to not only mobilize people, but to teach, train, empower them, skill them, but also to gather us in a group, because we know that, in Tswana we say, Kopano ke matla, which
Ukudibana
unity,
ngamandla. Mm.
yes, unity, power.
Indeed.
So gathering us together, because, like, for instance, we go and negotiate things. We negotiate deals. That's exactly why I'm here in Botswana. We are negotiating. We're doing an initiative that we're entering in with the government here. So
Wow.
it's so much easier to negotiate agreements when you are together as a group. And God has given us that mandate about being unified. So
Love
as an
that.
individual, you will fight to get benefits, to get opportunities, entrepreneurial opportunities. But as the unity is the power,
Unity.
yes, we can go much further. And let me just also throw this in before you come with another question. But also, let me remind South Africa of this also. So GBV is a problem in South Africa for us. And I remember in 2020, our president Ramaphosa actually declared gender-based violence to be a national emergency before COVID hit. He declared GBV to be a national emergency. South Africa is in the top 5 nations in the world that has the worst record in terms of gender-based violence, rape, violence against women, etc. And one of the things that the president said, President Ramaphosa said, he said, part of the reason why GBV is so prevalent is that many women are forced into relationships for financial reasons. They cannot leave an abusive relationship because they are financially dependent. And he also said that one of the solutions to GBV, therefore, must be to financially empower our women so that they're not forced to stay in abusive relationships because of chelete, because of money, because of financial. So, and we have many projects. When we gather together, we have so many projects. The one in Botswana, we launched our project in Botswana. It's called Sireletsang Basadi, which means protect women, because they also have a challenge with women being murdered, raped, killed. So the project for Botswana is that in South Africa, we have many projects. We have anti-trafficking project. We have a gender-based violence project. We have a back to school project, In Malawi, we have projects. We have adopted 200 children at Buluzi School. We send them to school every year. We have a widows project whereby we buy them sewing machines. We train them on agricultural skills to make a living for themselves because widows are often kicked out and out of society. And we also have an anti-early childhood marriage project because in Malawi, they marry young girls from the age of 8 years old.
Yeah.
So work with Chief Teresa Kachindamoto on that. So we're very project oriented. We are a group of women who are community conscious and nation builders because we're not that group. Listen, let me tell you something, Tutu. We're not bad looking. We're cute women, and we like to dress up. We like to dress
No,
up.
I
But
know
let me
you
say,
very well. I know you very well when it comes to that, Dr. P.
we know how to put ourselves together, etc. But let me tell you, that
Mm.
is not our number one priority. We know
Amen.
how to look cute when it's time to look cute, but we spend a lot of time in the villages, helping, training,
Mm.
equipping. So we're not just, the cutesy looking cute. You may see us on Facebook
Mm.
dressed to kill or dressed to murder or whatever it is. But we spend time in the villages and we know that God empowers us. He gives us wealth so that we can share it, so that we
Amen.
can help with the project. So we're very conscious of that. It's not about the brand bags. It's
Mm.
not about gathering women to be a social club and admire each other's
Mm.
brand bags. Oh, I love your this brand
Mm.
and high heels and all that.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. We do the red lips, but we also know how to roll back our sleeves
I love
and
it.
we know how to go to the villages and we know how to work with the community and do our best to empower them, to skill them. We have water
Yeah.
projects. When we're in Eastern Cape, we were handing out water filters so that they can filter the water, be healthy, stay away from
Mm.
disease, and also, be able to make a living for themselves. We have Cup of Kindness project,
Mm.
which is about hygiene, women monthlies, and the
Mm.
hygiene, the cup of kindness, making sure that young girls can stay in school
Mm.
because their monthlies, they don't have to leave school or miss days of school. We have so many projects, Cape Town,
You
and we are
do.
excited to have you on board. Ginako, Cape
It's
Town.
time, Cape Town. So, for the ladies that are going to make their way there, Dr. Paul, how can they go about? Where do they get their information, buy tickets, and so on and so forth?
Yes, well, you can visit my Facebook page, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
All the information there, and I'm going to be loading it again. I think you also have it as well, Tutu.
I do.
Yes, we're meeting from 3 to 5. It's not going to be a long meeting. It's just like a launch, boom, rocket launch. Come,
Mm,
just come fellowship, come network with us. And let me tell you the best thing about it, Cape Town,
mm,
is we're going to be having two lovely guests, lovely leading ladies that you know from
mm,
Cape Town. We're going to be having Pastor Desiree van Rensburg
mm,
is also going to be there holding up our arms, supporting. She's a longtime family friend and ministry colleague. She and her husband, Pastor Jose van Rensburg, are longtime friends of mine, more than 15 years. They're going to be there with us, praying with us, and not only Pastor Desiree van Rensburg, but we're also going to be having Prophetess Samantha.
mm.
Prophetess Samantha is also going to be there. These are two ladies I know are very well known in Cape Town. So they're going to be there praying with us. They're going to be there commissioning you. They're going to be
Amen.
there just encouraging, making declarations, and
Amen.
standing with us. But the venue is
Mm,
at Living Hope.
mm,
Living Hope.
mm.
And it's na my Afrikaans is nie regte, né?
7
So
Kommetjie Main
ah,
Road. Let me step in,
thank
Dr.
you.
P. Let me
Thank you,
step
Maya.
in.
You came in at the right
Ekers van
time
die
and the
Kaap.
right moment.
Ekers van die
Ah,
Kaap.
Maya, thank you, because I was sweating. I was literally
No need
sweating
to
when I
sweat, no
said,
need to sweat.
oh, Mickey, yes, I
7
know. Oh,
Kommetjie Main Road, Capri, Cape Town.
thank you. You to the rescue.
Oh, Dr. Pearl, thank you so much for just for who you are, and who you represent really to the nation of South Africa. And especially for women, you are a woman of truth. I look at your social media, and that's where I follow you, and that's where I got to know you as one. Of course, having attended some engagements, speaking engagements that you were speaking at and guest speaker at. What I love is the truth, the fact that you carry truth. And there have been many a times where I've been brought to my knees because of something that I've read that you have posted, where I've been convicted, and I know of many other people as well. So thank you so much, and may you continue to fly that flag up high, the flag of truth. Thank you so much for being a woman of virtue, a woman that represents God, through and through. And thank you for loving Him and pursuing God with everything that you have, and for bringing everyone together, through this forum, for example, that you have, and not just, leaving people behind and saying that, you're not leaving any woman behind. That's what I'm hearing, and that, come on, ladies, we can do it together. So, ladies of Cape Town, women of Cape Town, this is for us. This is going to
Amen.
be a treat for us. And I would say,
Amen.
let us all make our way to 7 Komechi Main Road in Capri. Let us make our way to Living Hope. Let us make our way. It's not going to be long, as Dr. Paul has already said. It's only 2 hours, and you're going to be empowered. You're going to be mobilized. Your life's going to change, really, and you're going to have sisters around you.
Yes. Yes,
That's what it's about. Dr. P,
absolutely.
thank you so much. We hope to have more conversations with you and get into
And you're invited. You're invited, K Pulpit. If you have time to, we'd love
absolutely. We will
to
make
see
our
you.
way there.
Yes, to be a partner. Please come. There's a registration link, but we'd love to see you. I love the fact that you talked about family because we
Mm,
are family. There's a sisterhood that's
mm,
there. You know what our tagline is? Our tagline is we complete, we don't compete.
love it. And it's
We
high
complete.
time, Dr. Paul, that as women, we really come together and we don't just say it, but we
Yes.
actually do it. Yeah.
Do it. Yes. Do it and do it better than anything. So, I want to also just take this time to thank you for what you do and to thank Cape Pulpit for, having stood out there. We don't have enough Christian media out there, and you guys are doing a sterling job. So, thank you for being a platform of kingdom expression. Thank you for taking the communication gate, the media gate, being a voice,
Sure.
releasing a sound out there,
Mm,
renewing our minds, keeping us accountable.
mm,
So I really want to honor you
sure.
as a pulpit. I know it's not easy in terms of finances and all of that. So we are
Mm,
really praying with you and for you and praying that
amen.
God will continue to increase you, expand and grow.
Amen.
You are doing an amazing, amazing job. So we
Yeah.
love you so much. And Tutu, thank you for being the bubbly you that you are.
Thank you, Dr. P. We love you so much. May God continue to shine his face towards you and everything that you do. May it be blessed. And see you on Saturday. God bless you. Good night. Enjoy Botswana. Siyabulela me. Bye-bye. Bye. Oh, family of 79 Radio Cape.